Washington Grown is brought to you by the Potato Farmers of Washington. Learn why Washington is home to the world's most productive potato fields and farmers by visiting potatoes.com. And by Northwest Farm Credit Services, supporting agriculture and rural communities with reliable, consistent credit and financial services today and tomorrow. And by the Washington State Department of Agriculture's Office of the State Aquaculture Coordinator, supporting the viability and vitality of Washington agriculture.
Hi everyone, I'm Christy Goranson and welcome to Washington Grown. When you drive across Washington State, you can't miss the fields of golden Washington wheat. And not only does wheat create these beautiful landscapes, but people are enjoying it here at home and around the world. In this episode of Washington Grown, we're going to share some stories about the people who grow and develop Washington wheat. I'll bake the popular turkey red bread at the grain shed in Spokane, where they're taking bread back to its roots.
Yeah, that looks great. You did a good job.
And we'll follow a trade team from South Korea here to get Washington wheat for their bakery.
We're here to purchase the best wheat in the world.
Plus, what happens when combines get too old to run? The town of Lind has a very creative answer.
Where else in the world are you going to see this, you know?
All this and more today on Washington Grown.
Bon appetito!
Bon appetito! There are no fingers in there
There's
either.
no fingers in it, and they still look green.
This is happy food right here.
That is heaven on a fork.
Look at that smile! Oh, I've never done that
Sweet, right?
before.
Got my hard hat on. Let's go.
Okay.
It's not every restaurant that highlights grains as their most important ingredient, but here at the Grain Shed in Spokane, they're bringing bread back to its roots.
It's a really good place to come. It has a really good feeling and it smells fabulous all the time, of course.
It's getting harder and harder to find real food. And so, you know, you can come here and whatever you have, it's going to be good. It's going to be real food.
Everything's grain focused. It's a small menu.
Owner Sean Duffy started the Grain Shed with his business partner to create a grain-focused menu for both bread and beer.
There's not a lot of grain people in America that like want to talk about wheat. So once you meet someone, it's sort of like a special thing. We started talking and we're like, you know, we need to really like have a collaboration to where we have the baker, the brewer, the maltster, and the farmer all in one. That's really how it started.
I mean, it's very laid back, very chill.
Above all, it's a happy place to be.
It's a real, you know, family, community-oriented place up here.
It's just a fun place to come hang out.
The bread is very good, the food is very good.
Their baked goods are kind of to die for.
They can come in here and they can see like our farmer pouring a beer, you know, and talking to them about grain.
We know where it comes from. It's just right over in the Palouse.
It's just a great, fun place to hang out and just have a unique Northwest Spokane experience.
Later in the show, we'll be in the kitchen where Sean will show me the detailed steps that go into their popular turkey red bread.
So they call this like a shaggy mass. A shaggy mass, and that's what it is.
I call myself in the morning. It's a shaggy mass.
Eastern Washington is home to some of the world's finest soft wheat. And because of the proximity to Pacific ports, a large percent of the crop is sold overseas. The journey begins at the farm.
My name is Gary Bailey. We're standing on one of our family farms near St. John, Washington, in the heart of the Palouse country. I'm the third generation farming this land. I live on the farm that I grew up. We raise primarily soft white wheat. This is a very rich soiled area. We rely on Mother Nature to provide the irrigation. The rolling hills make a beautiful landscape, and the climate is just perfect for raising high quality wheat.
Today, Gary is having some important visitors over from a bakery called SPC, all the way from South Korea. The Washington Grain Commission regularly arranges for trade teams like this from all over the world to visit wheat farms and see firsthand where their wheat is grown.
My name is Gary Ho, the Chief Technology Officer at SPC. Today, we're here to purchase the best wheat in the world from this area in order to produce the best bakery at the SPC to supply our customers in South Korea and around the world.
My name is Francis. I am the head miller. What I'm looking for when procuring wheats, I'm looking for quality, consistency, and a continuous supply chain. Washington has got a very good track record with the highest quality wheats being produced and a wide variety of wheats produced.
Their next stop is the campus of Washington State University, where wheat breeders work to improve the varieties offered to growers for their world market of buyers.
I'm Craig Morris. I'm director of the USDA Western Wheat Quality Lab. Our lab is directly aimed at ensuring high quality wheat for all of our international customers, including SPC and all the companies around the globe. Our mission really is to help wheat breeders develop new varieties for farmers. And this is an ongoing process of where we continually are testing new experimental lines to see which ones are going to be good enough to get to be released to the farmers.
My name is Mike Pumphrey, and I'm a wheat breeder here at Washington State University. My job as an associate professor at Washington State University is to develop wheat varieties for farmers in the state of Washington and the Pacific Northwest, which are then sold to customers like SPC around the world. We put a tremendous amount of effort into our relationships with customers around the world to make sure that our quality guidelines are in line with their needs.
A noodle taste test is set up.
So I've made 3 different varieties of noodles, 2 of which are varieties grown in Washington, and the 3rd is a commercial noodle variety.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Okay.
These guys really know what they're looking for.
C is the closer one, very springy, more springy, but hardiness is also there. That's my evaluation. Time for to review.
So.
Can I get
Yes.
Sure.
Maybe in the
B is
back,
Ryan.
big.
Yeah.
B is Ryan. A is the commercial flour, and C is the West Bread 6341.
And the winner is a new variety of Washington bred wheat.
The color of Ryan has just
the best.
been
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
Now we're stopping at the Maple Counter Waffle Company, where they're serving up some of my favorite breakfast foods using local Walla wheat.
So I'm here with Corey of the Maple Counter Waffle Company, but it's not just a food truck, because you are also connected to your restaurant, correct?
That's correct, yes.
All right.
We are small, locally sourced as much as possible breakfast and lunch restaurant. We built a food truck and parked it right next to our restaurant so that we can share a kitchen and a commissary.
Can you give me just a guesstimate of how much wheat you guys are going through?
Oh gosh, I would say probably several 100 pounds a week.
Oh, wow. That is a lot of wheat. Yeah. Well, we produce a lot of wheat here, so that's good.
Today, we're trying my childhood favorite, strawberry waffles made with fresh local strawberries.
My daughter at home is going to be so jealous that I'm eating this right now.
Get some of that whipped cream.
That is heaven on a fork. So, Brittany, tell me, do you enjoy pancakes and waffles?
I love them.
What would you say would be your favorite between the two?
Waffle. Pancake. Waffles probably more. Yeah.
Waffles more? Okay, well, I'm glad that you're here at the waffle truck.
That's why we're here.
So you like a little fruit on them, right?
I like the fruit.
Okay, so what do you think about strawberries then?
Ready for that.
So I want you to give that a try and then let me know what you think.
Okay, here we go. Fabulous.
Oh, it's really good.
Oh my God. That is the sweetest strawberry I've ever had.
It just tastes so fresh. I mean, you've got the strawberries.
Oh my God. That is one of the greatest reactions I've ever seen. Would you guys come back and order these again?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Can I eat the whole thing? You got it. That is yours. You enjoy that.
You just made my day. I'm gonna eat the whole thing.
Coming up, I'm at the grain shed making their popular turkey red bread.
Yeah, that looks great.
Hey!
You did a good job.
And we're in the kitchen at Second Harvest trying out some homemade bread. We're back at the grain shed in Spokane. Here, great food and a friendly atmosphere puts you right at home.
I mean, it's very laid back, very chill.
It's just a fun place to come hang out.
It's a really good place to come. It has a really good feeling and it smells fabulous all the time, of course.
It's a real, family, community-oriented place up here.
Owner Sean Duffy strives to give his customers the unique opportunity to see the whole process of making bread from farm to plate.
They can come in here and they can see like our farmer pouring a beer, and talking to them about grain. They like the fact that we mill our own grain. Basically 100% traceability. That's our big thing.
You have a lot going on here.
Yeah, we try.
It's cool.
Yeah.
We know where it comes from. It's just right over in the Palouse.
It's getting harder and harder to find real food. And so, you can come here and whatever you have, it's going to be good, it's going to be real food.
Sort of just like reel it back in a little bit and bring bread back to where it was, and not like have it be a villain in the story of the dinner table.
The bread is very good. The food is very good.
Simple, really amazing food.
There's something that happens when you get a bunch of people in here. There's a bit of community happening.
Above all, it's a happy place to be.
It's just a great, fun place to hang out and just have a unique Northwest Spokane experience.
We get to go in the back and make some bread, right?
Yes, ma'am. We're gonna make the turkey red, whole wheat country style bread, really flavorful, yet light at the same time. But yeah, it's a good introduction to what we're doing.
Now it's off to the kitchen to bake some bread.
The thing with turkey red is that it has a pretty large germ, which is like the egg yolk of the grain, and so it's clumpable. It's like the workhorse of the bakery. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with some water. The minerals in the water actually aids in the fermentation of the bread.
Unfiltered.
Yeah,
good old Spokane water.
Yeah. This is our culture. This has been around for quite a while.
This is the magic right here.
This is the magic. It's bubbly. It's funky. It's really tart. So if you smell it, you can smell it. Yeah. Put a little bit in there. This is the leavening of the bread. So just mix it up. Next step is our freshly milled flour. We're just mixing it all together. We're not kneading, we're not doing anything like that. We're just trying to let the water work its way into those little tiny starch molecules and just have them swell. So they call this like a shaggy mass. A shaggy mass, and that's what it is.
I call myself in the morning. It's a shaggy mass.
We take some gray salt, add some water and honey, and then add it to the mixture. Now it's on to the malt.
This is a purple Egyptian barley malt. It aids in a little bit more volume. It aids in fermentation and all that fun stuff.
The smell is changing.
Yeah, the smell.
Yeah,
like there's some citrus in there.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of some raisin notes.
Now we let the dough rest for 5 to 10 minutes before mixing it again.
It's going to start to develop those cell walls to where it can trap gas. I mean, fermentation is flavor, so that gas is flavor. You're letting the bacteria and yeast do their thing. They're breaking down all those complex starches, breaking down all those complex carbohydrates. It's just doing it for you to where you can absorb all those nutrients.
We let the dough sit for half an hour before repeating the process. Then we leave it overnight to sit.
So this is some body to it. It has some loft. We're gonna pre-shape it.
Okay.
You're gonna wanna wet your hands a little bit. Take it and just make a little ball out of it. And so now we're just gonna let it relax just a little bit, and then we're gonna give it its final shape. We're making what we call a batard, just a torpedo shape.
Okay.
And what we're gonna do now is just shape it into there. Yeah, that looks great. You did a good job. Just hit it with a little flour, and then we're gonna go upside down into the basket.
We leave the dough out for 12 hours to rise before putting them in the oven to bake.
So
these look amazing.
Here these are. We do have some
to try.
Right here. The trapping of gas, that's the flavor.
Yeah, it's so good. This is delicious. I love how moist it is. This is all so good. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, thank you.
Delicious.
Today I'm over in Mount Vernon at the WSU Bread Lab plant breeding program. The Bread Lab began in 2011 to conduct research on thousands of lines of wheat, barley, buckwheat, and other small grains to identify those that perform well for farmers and that are most suitable for craft baking, cooking, malting, brewing, and distilling. I'm meeting with their lead field scientist, Steve Lyon, to learn more about the wheat they're testing in the field.
In Eastern Washington, they trial about 60 different varieties all over the state, but they'd never sent them over here before. So I can try them, see what works here for farmers. They might work, they might not, but at least if it fails, it's going to fail for me and not the farmer.
Right.
The last thing is we taste it. We bake several of them, and the one that tastes the best is the one that we go with.
Next, I head inside to meet with the director of the Bread Lab, Dr. Steve Jones.
The importance of having a lab embedded within an agricultural community like this, if we can help them discover new varieties that are going to do better for them in terms of yield with fewer inputs, that's going to help their economic situation.
Dr. Jones explained that the Bread Lab consists of a baking kitchen, a cytology lab, the King Arthur Flour Baking School, a milling laboratory, a professional kitchen, and a seed library.
In this room is about 4,000 unique types of wheat and beans. So that wall there has wheats from as far back as the 1500s. There's 1,000 different wheats just on that wall. Thousands of wheats have been lost. those were all saved. And that's material that we use all the time.
Next on our tour is the mill room, which has numerous mills of all different sizes from around the world.
This is a small-scale model of what milling turned into worldwide in the late 1800s.
Dr. Jones explained that this milling process peels the outer layer of the wheat, leaving the inner layer. However, the outer layer is what holds all the fiber, iron, and zinc.
This is basically starch and gluten.
Why?
This has everything else.
What was the decision-making behind separating it out like this?
There were a few reasons for it. One was you had to have something that would have a shelf life of forever. And white flour does because, again, it's just starch and gluten.
Because most of the bread found at our local grocery stores is made with white flour, Dr. Jones said their new Bread Lab collective is working on creating an affordable, approachable, and accessible loaf of bread.
Bakers felt that they're missing a large part of their community, not just from the affordability, but from the approachability or the recognizability of a thing as bread. If we're looking at a baguette or a boule or a batard, all of those are great and they're necessary within our communities. But what's necessary too, and what's being missed, is that sort of nuts and bolts everyday bread.
Yeah. As our tour comes to an end, I asked Dr. Jones what he wants the public to know about the Bread Lab.
What's most important to us is, and we take it very seriously, is we're public servants. We work with our community at all levels, not just farmers and millers and bakers and maltsters and brewers and distillers, but eaters. Yeah. And that's so important to us, that we're here to serve the greatest part of our community as possible.
Well,
So that's
I'm glad you're here.
Nice, thank you.
Coming up, we're in Lind at the famous Combine Demolition Derby.
People are used to seeing these combines harvest in the fields, and we're crashing them together.
Human existence has relied heavily on one tiny little plant many of us probably take for granted, the homely but healthy wheatgrass. Wheat production is big business in the US, and Washington is consistently a top 5 producer among all 50 states. In fact, wheat production contributes an estimated $700 million to our state's economy every year. When consumed in its whole grain state, wheat is a nutrient-dense food that our body can use in a variety of ways. Like other types of grains, wheat is loaded with carbohydrates, the main source of fuel our body uses for energy. In addition to carbs, whole grain wheat is an excellent source of fiber, which helps us feel full and slows digestion and absorption of nutrients, which is a good thing for our digestive system. Fiber also lowers blood cholesterol levels, which studies suggest will reduce your risk to cardiovascular disease. And we can all cheers to that.
Harvesters or combines are an essential tool for farmers to harvest wheat and other dry crops. But what happens when a combine's too old to serve its purpose anymore? Well, the town of Lind has come up with a very destructive answer. Welcome to Lind, home of the infamous Combine Derby. Once a year, people come from all over to see combines get smashed to pieces in a competition of skill, wits, and lots of beer.
So my name is Derek Laird, this is the cabbie. I'm Alexis Gazar, and this is the Red, White, and Booze.
My name is Eric Labish, and I drive the grain digger.
Here in town, we drink a lot here, I guess. That's what's there to do for fun. You know, people are used to seeing these combines harvest in the fields, and we're crashing them together.
It's very friendly, very fun.
Where else in the world are you going to see this, you know?
The Lind Lions Club puts on the Derby as a fundraiser to give back to the town and the surrounding community.
We typically have 400 people in Lind, and we bring in about 4,000 to 5,000. Everything we make here, so much of it goes back to the small town community. The Lions Club's done a lot for this community and for myself, I feel like, and it's just my way of saying like thank you and like giving back to the community.
This small farming community usually uses combines to harvest wheat, but today they've been tricked out to become machines of destruction.
I kind of work hard to keep them running out in the field, but now we're out here and having fun.
It's a lot of work, a lot of welding, and a lot of turning wrenches. My buddy Alan and I have been at it since December, every weekend.
So usually a machine costs around $500.
Probably spend $100 in metal, and then whatever our time's worth, which is probably not much.
So you can be $700-800 into it pretty easily.
Our biggest thing is you're gonna go out there and somebody's gonna hit you in the rear end and your tire's gonna pop. Then you're dragging around a rim and a tire that's popped. So why don't we just get rid of the tire and just run the rim? I don't know if we're gonna be able to steer with the actual steering wheel, but we have brakes.
As soon as they drop the flag and it starts, it's just adrenaline.
It's like being in a car accident over and over and over again.
It's a thrill of a lifetime, really.
I mean, you'll get out of the arena and you don't even know what hit you, you don't even know what happened. And all my buddies want to do it, and finally I decided it's my time to go out there and destroy my own machine instead of watching the other ones get destroyed. So
And it's just full speed ahead.
I mean, this is what we look forward to. It's like Christmas for us.
It's pretty nice to see everybody come together and put this show on.
Everybody's here to have a good time.
Around here you have a lot of rodeos and whatnot, and no one has a combine demolition derby, so.
Tomas and I are in the kitchen at Second Harvest Food Bank in Spokane, and we're joined by Laurent Zarate. He is the chef and owner of Fleur de Sel Creperie in Spokane. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. It's good to see you.
Love your expertise on our recipes that we're going to be doing. And the recipes are all from AllRecipes.com, which we've featured them on Washington Grown. They're based out of Seattle, which we love. And today we're going to be making some homemade bread.
There's nothing like bread. I mean, you're talking to a French guy here, you know. We start the first meal is with bread.
Is with bread.
And bread and cheese and bread and butter and bread and everything.
Everything.
Love it.
It's you know, it's part of our culture, and there's nothing like making your own bread. That, you know, it's
so
something
true.
you can share, and it's easy. You know, we have the best flour in the world around here.
We do.
I mean, in our states, it's fantastic.
Yeah. So this is it's called Fabulous Homemade Bread from Jay Drury. I think that's how you pronounce it.
The name should say it all, right?
So Jay, we can't wait to make your fabulous homemade bread.
I know. Butter and jam, was it?
Yeah.
Or butter.
Or butter.
Or both.
Or butter.
It looks beautiful, doesn't it?
Yes.
And pretty easy to make.
Yeah.
I know.
And it smells so good. There's nothing better than the smell of freshly home-baked bread.
The problem with homemade bread is that as soon as it comes out of the oven, you want to eat it all.
Right.
That's the problem.
And this just has really good texture.
Butter.
It looks
Look
like.
Nice and
butter.
thick slice. It feels clean. It feels healthy. It just feels, everything in there is good for you.
I agree. Yeah. Some of the comments that people made, Rose says she's crazy about this bread, and she adds like whatever seeds she might want. She and her husband don't eat a lot of bread, but they have been making this recipe once a month.
Oh, that's good.
So they love it so
much.
much.
Yes, and you can add also some other ingredient to make it a little more, a little bit different, like black olives, rosemary.
Oh, yeah.
Some herbs.
Some herbs.
Yep, exactly.
So you have helped teach some cooking classes here.
I do at Second
Harvest in the teaching kitchen, which is where we are.
Yep.
Do you deal with bread sometimes?
Yes, we simple ingredients. To make things with simple ingredients is sometimes a challenge for others, and to teach these the people how to make good food, healthy food with local product. It's a great reward.
Love it. And so we want to thank Jay Drury, and apparently this was coming from someone's grandmother who's 75 and she still makes a bread by hand all the time.
Believe it. That feels like it, doesn't it?
We appreciate it. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you very much.
To get the recipe for this homemade bread, visit wagrown.com. So the next time you're driving through Washington and you see these beautiful fields, think of the farmers that are harvesting this wheat and turning it into something delicious. That's it for this episode of Washington Grown. Thanks for watching.